So I'm going to look at the arabesque first. The copy of the music here, I've got it in a different book, so it might look slightly different, but it should be the same music. Okay, so looking at the left hand first, just ignoring the first two bars, starting from where the double bar line is. So you've got your chords here, which are all staccato, which you've got absolutely fine. And then we're going on now to this G, C and E, which is 5, 2 and 1. Then G, B and F, which is 5, 3 and 1. And then finish on C and E, which I think you suggested was better with 1 and 3. I agree with that, because then that goes back to the first chord at the beginning again. Okay, so quite straightforward with the left hand there. Just those last 4 bars with the new chords. Going from the A, C, E, you replace the C with the third finger with the second finger, and the little finger goes down to G, but the thumb stays where it is. Okay, then here, the only finger that needs to move is the thumb, needs to go along to F, and then you need to select the third finger on the B to play this other chord, and then move in the hand to go to C and E. So little adjustments here and there, but sometimes the fingers don't all move, only certain ones move, and it's just working out the system that you need to follow there. The right hand is fairly straightforward. Don't take it too quickly. Okay, now the next section that's new. Okay, so we were talking about counting quite a lot. This is 2 beats in a bar. 2/4 means 2 crotchet beats in the bar. Now, of course, you know the crotchet beat can be divided into different note values. The most common is the quavers, so the crotchet can divide into 2 quavers, or in this case, 4 semiquavers. So the best way to get the divisions exactly at the right speed is to subdivide all your counting using the familiar 1 and 2 and. So you're already dividing that crotchet beat into quavers. So if I do that from the very beginning, and I'm going to count in 1 and 2 and 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 1. Okay, so your if I write it in, it's a little difficult because some of the words are in the way on the music. Okay, but generally your first 2, 3, 4 bars are all going to be the same. So you're going to count 1 and 2 and. So the first half of the first count consists of those 2 semiquavers. The second half of the first count has the other 2 semiquavers. All right, so although we're counting in halves, you've still got to divide those halves into quarters. So you've still got to work at getting that at the right speed. A lot of this music has the quaver rest appearing. All right, so we shorten one of the counts, sometimes the second count, sometimes the first count, into 2 halves anyway. So the first half either is a note, a quaver, or it might be a rest, and the second half is either the quaver rest or maybe the quaver note. So it's really helpful if you divide all your counting into that quaver count. Now from here, I'll write it in for you. Okay, so when you're counting the bar just previous to that one, 1 and 2 and is the rest, count 1 on the first rest, 1, then play on and 2 and 1, then a rest, then play on 2 and 1. Now that 2 and 1 there is a tied note, so you should hold the note down almost to the end. 2 and 1, then you come in on the next quaver on the and 2 and 1, rest on and then you would play on 2. So if I clap that rhythm, or use the tapping system that I'm using at the moment. So I'm going from 1, 2, well, if I count from the very beginning of the music, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it should be bar 7. I'm going to count in first, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, I'll do it again, counting in first, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Okay, now we're sort of singing it, but not necessarily the key that it's written in, so I apologise for that, but at least you get the idea of that rhythm. If you put it hands together, although I think I said maybe just keep this hand separately, so I won't actually, all right, because that's careful rhythm work in the right hand and getting those chords sorted out in the left hand.